Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why my tombstone is blank. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. And tell me where is the road to less pain. How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by. Where are all my trophies in life? And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life.
Set to sail to a place I can't say. Live a life worthy of chase. The time is today. New blood in my veins. I won't be the joker in life, playing the part I don't like. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Yeah.
And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. 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 This is the night for my final ride. Heaven and hell side by side. The raging wind cuts like a blade. These roads will ride my fate.
my goodness. Is it great to be alive? On a Monday night in the OTS venue or what? It's WrestleMania week. Is everybody excited? Do you feel the excitement? WWE tried tonight with their go-home show. Some good, some bad. Not really all that exciting. I would have ended with Brock and Oba if we all knew CM Punk was going to apologize 4 weeks later to Roman Reigns. But they are the main events, after all. Oba Brock, Punk and Roman, Liv and Stephanie. WWE added a little bit of juice to what's going on at WrestleMania. Coming off Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about it. Not much happened tonight, but it is the go-home show before WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, we already benched one in the chat. How many more? I don't know. But when we go to the venue, find a seat, grab a drink, and when I get there and walk through those doors, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
It also isn't about excuses. WWE has failed creatively. AEW has failed fundamentally. So why did Triple H lose the plot? Why did Tony Khan abandon everything that made AEW special? Because nobody is committed to the one thing that actually matters. Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for April 13th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. It is WrestleMania week. This weekend, finally, we descend upon Las Vegas for WrestleMania 42. It's been a very long road. And I'm just glad that we are finally here in one piece. The Television has given us a couple of moments, a couple of great moments. Pat McAfee, and largely a very uninspired WrestleMania season where I genuinely feel the company felt burdened to give us anything more than what they did give us this WrestleMania season. Royal Rumble was garbage. The Elimination Chamber was garbage. This is their third attempt at a PLE this year, and it's the biggest show of the entire year. WrestleMania needs to hit a fucking grand slam on Saturday and Sunday. They need to make the right decisions. Those who are returning need to return and set up future programs with some excitement surrounding it. We need the Raw after Mania to feel like the Raw after Mania. And we need to begin anew following WrestleMania. I do not want to see more of the same old shit coming from WWE after the season is over. The road has been long. The road has been tiresome. And WWE tonight, going into the go-home show, they didn't really need to do anything more than what they've already given us. I did not expect them to give us some blow-away, oh my God, I'm going to really sell you on WrestleMania with one Raw to go. I did not expect that. You know how these go-home shows go. They do the bare minimum. They usually pit a couple of people from the show against each other in some form or fashion in a tag team match or a singles match. We get a lot of promo work. We get a lot of vignettes. And that's exactly what this show boiled down to. A lot of talking on this show. Another week of pro wrestling on WWE television that doesn't really mean much of anything. Everything feels like an exhibition. Everything feels like promo first, vignettes first, pro wrestling second. I get that WWE doesn't really need to do that with 1 week to go. Let's just get to WrestleMania. But WWE followed a very similar formula with a lot of what they did tonight. Everybody outside Roman Reigns and CM Punk actually brawled and fought. Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan, brawl. Rusev brawling with everybody in the ladder match, beating up everybody in the ladder match. Rollins and Gunther, brawl. WWE, they stick to what they do best. And if they try and venture out and do something a little bit different, a little risky, then they get cold feet. It's basically what Monday Night Raw was in totality tonight. There wasn't really one big segment. There wasn't one huge takeaway from tonight's show. Obviously, Roman Reigns and CM Punk, they had their final meeting, their final words before the Night 2 main event on Sunday. I always enjoy a good promo between two megastars. Everything just feels important, especially when we've seen what they've done so far. It's kind of gotten off track the last couple weeks. It's certainly something that I'm still excited about. I'm excited to see what the match does and how we feel about the match and how they go about the in-ring work and how well they work with each other in a one-on-one capacity this year. I'm interested to see what the conclusion's going to be. Who's going to show up, if anybody's going to show up? Who's going to win? CM Punk or Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns is a grade A part-timer. Is he going to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and be on TV more than he has been in recent years? Or are we going to stay with the old man CM Punk at the top of Raw? They have gotten off track. Some of the promos haven't hit. Some of the work that they've done to build excitement hasn't hit. The big pull-apart brawl that we've seen. I think everybody got more excitement from Punk's pipe bomb last week against Pat McAfee and Ari Emanuel and TKO more than they did anything with Roman Reigns. The problem with Roman Reigns and CM Punk is that they gave so much away in the first week that they absolutely addressed what the main event of WrestleMania was going to be. This was before Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. Immediately on that Raw following the Chamber, they met face-to-face, and they basically got the match announced. Graphic already made. This is what we're going to do at WrestleMania. It's going to be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. WrestleMania season was not even underway yet. Yet all this time, Roman Reigns was on TV announcing that he's chasing CM Punk in the World Heavyweight Championship after winning the Royal Rumble. Then he goes away for 4 weeks, only to come back after the Elimination Chamber, and then we resume the build for the match that we announced. The build to this match suffered because the road to WrestleMania is once again taking us deep into April. We're in the third week of April here for WrestleMania, again for second year in a row. If WrestleMania was happening in a normal situation where it usually happens at the end of March or the first week of April, then the build for Roman Reigns and CM Punk would have been a little bit more compact. It would have been a little bit better. I don't feel like if that was the case, they would have given away everything in that first promo. I don't know why they did with so many weeks to go. I genuinely feel the extended WrestleMania season is harming the product. And I genuinely hope that going into next year, that WrestleMania season is shortened back to what it used to be. WWE continues to just feel lost. WWE continues to feel directionless. And this doesn't really feel like a company that's excited to book for WrestleMania. Now, that may be for one reason or another that we've seen with Pat McAfee. I don't know if you guys saw it tonight. Triple H looked like he didn't even want to be in the ring tonight. That man looks heavily bothered. But CM Punk and Roman Reigns, I'm still excited about. I was a little confused at Punk's promo. I don't know why we didn't get Punk saying everything he said tonight 4 weeks ago. When he mentioned Roman's father, when he mentioned Roman's family, I don't know why the apology didn't come that very next week. Like, I get you sit. That's the way that I am. I say something that I don't really mean, or something comes out in a fit of anger, and you sit on it, and it takes you a little bit longer to sit and absolutely just kind of mull in your head what you said, and it was wrong of me to do that, and your nerves calm down, and then you apologize when it's your time to apologize. Some people take longer to apologize. I get that. But these guys, he said what he said. They brawled back and forth with each other for weeks, and then he apologizes. I would have had the apology happen first, and then it just goes completely off the rails, and then they want to beat each other. It doesn't really give me a good vibe. If Roman and CM Punk started off the way that they did, they get hot and heavy for weeks, calling each other names, going back and forth. Punk is mentioning Roman's dead father. Punk is mentioning Roman's family. They're brawling up and down the arena. They finally get their hands on each other. And then the week before WrestleMania, the show before WrestleMania, they end up in the ring together apologizing. They went over why they hated each other. But CM Punk apologized to Roman Reigns for being out of line. I really wish that we got the volatile situation heading into Mania instead of Punk apologizing to Roman and Roman basically at the end of the promo saying it's not going to be end still, it's going to be end new. I think that they did things slightly backwards. Not to say that it was a bad promo. I don't think they really ever cut a bad promo. We just set the bar exceptionally high for these two. That anything less than the best is kind of disappointing. But regardless of what they did tonight, and regardless of how some of the things that they did in this build didn't really hit, I'm still excited about the match. Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. I thought they've done a great job the last 3 or 4 weeks building this matchup. We'll talk about why. Seth Rollins and Gunther, a match that I wasn't really excited about when they announced it, and I was ready to shit all over it. I really still don't care about it, but I get what they're doing, and I get why they made the decision that they made. We'll talk about that as well. They did a great job in the 2 weeks that they had to build this thing. They've done a very good job of building some sort of tension between Rollins and Gunther, where before the match was announced, there was nothing. And we'll talk about Oba and Brock. Oba Femi, I keep telling you guys, Oba's got more upside than Braun Breaker. Oba's going to be the guy. Oba is going to be the ace. Oba is going to be the face of the company. And that man is showing you that he is a very good promo. And that those crowds that we've seen over the last 3 or 4 weeks, those fans in Sacramento and everywhere else that we've seen, they love Oba. They love to dance. They love to fucking bark during his theme music. And they believe everything that he says. They got something special in Oba. They cannot drop the ball on Sunday night. We're going to go over Monday Night Raw tonight. Again, we've seen a lot worse for a go-home show. We've seen great go-home shows. We've seen very poor go-home shows. This one falls somewhere right in the middle. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just there. And WWE is absolutely telling you that they are ready to get this WrestleMania season done and over with. Because they want to move far away from fucking Pat McAfee. Thank you guys very much for joining me on this Monday night. It is your Monday Night Raw post show for your Monday, April 13th, 2026. Major announcement. I don't really push the merchandise all that often. I used to have a lot of merch. I used to push a lot of merch. But I feel like only a certain subsection of people buy the merch. But my guy Salrex, out of the kindness of his heart, because he's a talented motherfucker, made me a design. Do you guys remember the JD's Elite design that we've had all those years ago, man? Probably the best-selling t-shirt that we've had outside the JD is Negan version 1. He took it upon himself to make something special for everybody. This WrestleMania season, we got a new shop, we got new merch, and we got new merch on sale right now, including this new design. Go get your new, unapologetically authentic, OTS, off-the-script design, now available. I linked everybody in the live stream chat. You guys will be linked down below in the comments section and in the description as well. Our new merch shop is with Fourth Wall. So make sure you guys go and check out what we got up there right now. There will be more added as I sit down with it. But we got hoodies. We got shirts. We got coffee mugs. We got TNT merch. We got beer coasters. Of course, we got to get the fucking drink coasters. So make sure you guys go and get your t-shirt today. It's a great way to support the show. It's a great way to support the great year we're having. And that design is fucking awesome. So go and get yours today. Right now available on Fourth Wall. Link is in the live stream chat. I pinned it right at the bottom of the live stream chat. So please go and check that out for me. Once again, I want to thank you guys for the great April we're having. I want to thank my guy Salrex for going out of his way and using his creativity. There's one guy I trust with shit like that. It's always him. Always. Thumbnails, layouts. He just gets it. He just gets it. I want to thank Ross. Kicking it with Ross. He had Jesse and I on today on Twitch. We talked a little WrestleMania. So thank you guys and In the Clutch Entertainment for having us on. Great stream this afternoon. I think it's going to be going up on his YouTube channel within the next 24 hours or so. Really great discussion. We had a great time. It won't be the last. So thank you to those guys. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. It's going to be a busy week of content. We're live tonight with Monday Night Raw. Tomorrow morning, I'll be live with Jonathan Coachman, the coach, for episode 5 of the 2 Count. That'll be live on the Behind the Turnbuckle YouTube channel. If you guys enjoy your sports talk, sports presentation mixed with your pro wrestling, it's the show for you. So make sure you grab your favorite cup of coffee, sit down, and listen to me and Coach go to work, man. It's going to be great. We're going to get you guys ready the best we can for WrestleMania. And then Tuesday night, 8:30, the one and only Solid Monster and I sit down for Tuesday Night Titans. We got a lot to talk about. This is the WrestleMania edition of Tuesday Night Titans. We're going to go over all of WrestleMania. We're going to talk TNA pulling their talents from the indies. Carlos Silva, that fucking geek. And we're going to review AEW Dynasty. Going to be a big show tomorrow. So strap yourselves in. Have a couple of cold beverages on ice. It's going to be a great Tuesday. Wednesday, I will not be here for the Dynamite review. I will not be here for the Dynamite post show. I will be in Las Vegas at a cocktail bar somewhere, I'm assuming Wednesday evening. And I will be probably drunk somewhere. I will be in Las Vegas. Why? Because Thursday night, we have House of Glory, Las Vegas, at the Palms Casino. And it's going to be a great show. We got Amazing Red versus Bandito. We got Zilla Fatu versus Brody King. We got Ricky Sosa versus Cashflow Ken Broadway. We got the Hardys versus The Club. Gallows and Anderson. They'll be in House of Glory. And we got Shotzi defending the HOG Women's Championship against the former Dakota Kai, Charlie. What a fucking night, man. If you guys are not going to be in Vegas, you can definitely join and listen to me and the Monster on the call. Triller TV Plus. Going to be a great night. Leave a comment down below. Hit that thumbs up. Super chats are the best way to support the show. I got to get myself a new PC, man. This one is, it's kind of shaky. You guys know how to support, man. I'm not worried about that. You guys know the deal there. Super chats are open. Questions, comments, concerns. We'll hang out at the end of the show. And tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Make sure you guys use that code JD. We'll talk about Blue Chew a little bit later right here on Off the Script. I want to thank them, as always, for sponsoring tonight's Monday Night Raw post show. I will not be covering Dynamite. I will talk about Dynamite when I talk about Dynamite. I'm not going out of my way to watch a show I generally don't care about. And if Darby Allin wins the World Championship on Wednesday, which is heavily rumored right now, which would be a fucking fail on Tony Khan's part, because I already see the fucking media. Have you guys noticed this? The fucking fake media, the fake wrestling media, they're out there already. Every single one of them, man, like fucking clockwork, like ants in a fucking army. They all do the same thing. They all tweet out the same thing. I saw Sap say the same thing as Alba. And they all regurgitate the same thing. Well, I have a good feeling that Darby Allin's going to win the AEW World Championship on Wednesday on Dynamite from MJF in Everett, Washington. Sap said the same thing. Alba said the same thing. I'm sure a couple other fake journalists said the same thing. The reason why they do this is because Tony Khan reached out to them via DM or mobile device and got everybody in order and said, I need you guys to put out this tweet. I need you to build interest and excitement around a possibility of a title change because I think the interest and the speculation of such is going to get people to watch Dynamite on Wednesday because we're so desperate for ratings. Am I in the ballpark? What was the vibe of CM Punk's promo tonight, chat? Tell me when I'm telling any lies. MJF losing the championship is a fucking terrible decision. Yes, let me take the belt off MJF to put it on Darby in his hometown, for MJF to win it in his hometown 4 weeks later at Double or Nothing, while we continuously build Will Ospreay up to win the Owen so that he may win the title in his hometown of London at Wembley for All In. If you're going to run the let's give the guy the hometown win for the World Championship, there should only be one that you're planning, and that's for Will Ospreay. Not Darby Allin, who's fucking ice cold. He's as cold as the fucking mountain that he decided to climb. You want to know why he ain't a world champion? Because he opted to climb a fucking mountain. Any questions? Oh, also in that feud with the dogs that they put him in for 3 months, yeah, that totally fucking ruined all of his credibility. Any questions? No? We can move on with the actual review now. Monday night. I'm sure somebody will clip that on social media, and I'm sure there'll be a shitstorm as I head to Las Vegas. Blow me. Don't give a fuck. I'll have an old-fashioned in my hand and a Nintendo Switch in the other on a 6-hour flight to Las Vegas. Monday Night Raw. Supposedly, we were going to get a contract signing between Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. Now, the last time they did this, WWE had Oba and Brock start throwing office chairs at each other, and things really broke down in the typical WWE way this WrestleMania season, a pull-apart brawl. Now, they didn't want that same thing to happen. So tonight, their plan was for each guy to cut promos. Or I guess Paul Heyman cut a promo, and then Oba cut a promo. Brock did get some mic time. It was very, very brief, as it should be. But they cut promos, and they signed these contracts individually away from each other with the supervision of Adam Pearce and Triple H. So Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman were out first. Triple H and Adam Pearce were in the ring. Triple H totally did not look like he wanted to be there. Triple H legitimately looked like he had an angry scowl on his face, this worried look on his face. He's worried just like everybody else is worried because he knows that this Pat McAfee story is a complete fail. And there's nothing that he can do about it, and he knows there's nothing he can do about it. So we start the show with Heyman and Lesnar. Heyman interrupted and said, it's WrestleMania Fight Week, meaning no one needs to get that close to the beast. So Lesnar comes on out. He said Lesnar excels and makes his money in the ring in a sanctioned match. Lesnar gets in the ring. He signs a contract. Heyman said history was made, and it might as well be a Nigerian death warrant. Lesnar yanked the microphone away from Paul Heyman and said, you won't even know his name after this weekend. Heyman said, Oba Lesnar is the real main event of WrestleMania. Now, I don't know if that's just Paul Heyman kind of embellishing because he's Paul Heyman and this match is a big deal, or if the company actually believes that because of the recent occurrences of Pat McAfee ruining the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton situation and making that match now kind of undesirable. I think a large portion of the fan base is still interested in that match. I also think a other large portion of the fan base is completely turned off by what we're getting. And I've said for weeks now, as soon as Pat McAfee interjected himself into the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton situation, I would absolutely deem Brock and Oba a bigger main event for WrestleMania than Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton right now. So I'm genuinely curious if this is how WWE Creative feels about the current situation as well. He said there is going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. He said the loser's name is Oba Femi. He said Lesnar is the greatest combat sports athlete in history. They both left, and that was the end of the segment. This didn't really do anything to add to the excitement. My excitement levels were already at a high here for Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. Now, the one thing I know a lot of people are probably going to pinpoint is that Lesnar never got the one up on Oba Femi. Oba Femi, he delivered a fall from grace to Brock Lesnar, clotheslined Brock Lesnar, and then he drove Brock Lesnar through the table. So it's 3 weeks that Oba Femi got the best of Brock Lesnar. Lesnar really hasn't done much of anything. The only thing that we did was have Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar pull apart brawl where Brock threw an office chair at Oba Femi and he kind of broke away from the referees and officials and dove on top of Oba Femi before he got driven through the contract signing table. He hasn't really laid any offense on Oba in the build that we've seen so far for this match. Now, that may be worrisome to some people. Honestly. A lot of people are wanting Oba to win this match. Oba is the right winner. Triple H right now knows that the product isn't as hot as it should be. That WrestleMania season is floundering. There was a report that went out by the Wrestling Observer where Dave Meltzer talked about Triple H knowing exactly how the fans are feeling and understands that the fans aren't very happy with what's going on lately. He understands it. He sees it. He feels it. He hears it. Triple H is on social media just as much as Tony Khan with multiple burner accounts. If you don't think he knows what's going on with how we feel, you're a fool. Which is why everybody that wants Oba to win or thinks Oba should win, I think that's a good way to look at it. Triple H right now. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to say, well, Lesnar is going to have his choice in what he wants to do as well because Lesnar's one of those types of guys that has some sort of creative freedom or creative control. He wins and loses to who he wants. He works with who he wants to work with. I genuinely think that Lesnar is happy, ecstatic to work with Oba Femi. I do. If Triple H knows what's good for him, Oba Femi wins the match. But I understand why people would be a little skeptical because Lesnar has not, in the weeks of build that we've gotten, which has been great, he hasn't really done anything offensively to Oba Femi. Oba's got the one up on him several times. You would think by looking at what we've seen that Lesnar, by what we've seen, is going to win the match. That's the wrong outcome. Oba Femi needs to win. And Oba Femi needs to win emphatically with a fall from grace. We'll see what happens. This was as basic you could get with the opening segment. Lesnar signed the contract. We got a couple of words. Heyman sold the match. And then on to the next. We got a vignette with I Show Speed. I get that celebrities are going to be a part of WrestleMania. We did get Lesnar and Oba, or Lesnar here and Heyman, in regards to Oba and the match with Lesnar at WrestleMania and the contract signing. We got something big to open the show. But to immediately follow it with a celebrity, I Show Speed. You save that stuff for later in the show, man. Get the most important things out there. Like if you put this immediately following Lesnar and Oba Femi, the way that I interpret that is I Show Speed and his inclusion in WrestleMania is just as important as Oba and Femi. Or Oba and Femi. Brock and Oba. That'll be a fucking match. Oba versus Femi, huh? Brock and Oba. It's just as important as Brock and Oba at WrestleMania. Like save that shit for the middle or the end of the show. Like, why do we immediately need to jump into here's another celebrity? I don't care. Like, I'm over it. I genuinely don't have any interest in what's going on. There's going to be a winner. There's going to be a loser. We'll be entertained for 10 minutes and then on to the fucking next match. So they showed this vignette. They showed footage of Logan Paul shoving I Show Speed into LA Knight at ringside last week, followed by LA Knight and the Usos going after I Show Speed. And then Division helping to protect I Show Speed. And then we got the 6-man tag team match made official for WrestleMania last week. So then they showed what looked to be an empty arena. Could be the Performance Center. They dimmed the lights a little bit and made it look a little ominous. Logan Paul, IShowSpeed in Theory, training in the ring. Logan and Theory were telling him that he's not actually a wrestler. Logan said that it doesn't matter and doubt about what's going on. Don't doubt what's going on. He told him to lock in. You're now a part of this. You made enemies. Theory told him things are going to be worse for him without them watching his back. We're the only ones that care about you right now. So it shifted to a vignette with him training. We got him doing leapfrogs. We got him doing some double team moves. We got him doing a big crossbody off the top rope. We got him body slamming one of the guys, one of the trainees in the ring. And then he starts jumping around excitedly. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. And he's got this serious look on his face. You know, IShowSpeed may surprise us. They'll probably have him go in there and do the basics, and he'll show us how athletic he is. He'll do a big move off the top rope, whether it's the same crossbody we saw in the vignettes or a big frog splash off the top rope. Maybe a backflip of sorts where he lands on his feet and we see his athleticism. I mean, it's an innocent match. I just don't really care about any of the men involved in this match. Tag team titles are dead. Logan Paul and Austin Theory, the Vision, are dead. LA Knight's been feuding with these guys for fucking 10 months, 11 months now. The Usos. I don't care. I don't care. Charlotte Flair. She went one-on-one with Lyra Valkyria because Charlotte and Lyra are part of the women's fatal four-way tag team title match at WrestleMania. So how do we eat up a good chunk of television? We take one woman from one team, another woman from another team, and put them in a one-on-one match to build anticipation, to build excitement, to build tension. None of these feelings I felt. No tension, no excitement, no anticipation. I didn't feel any of these things during this match. Now, they did mention Nikki Bella and the ankle injury. The Bellas right now are going to be a wait-and-see situation. The actual language that they used is it's going to be very close to call. It's too close to call right now. Now, the Bellas, Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, Bliss and Charlotte, and then Lyra and Bayley. Those are the four teams battling over the Women's Tag Team Championships, which honestly has been some of the worst television on any pro wrestling television we've seen all year. It's been the same rinse and repeat garbage over and over every single week. None of the characters are particularly interesting. None of the characters we are particularly invested in at all. I would have went a completely different way with this women's situation going into Mania. But you can't change it now. Can't change it now. If the Bellas don't make WrestleMania, if the Bellas are mathematically eliminated because of this injury, the rumor is Triple H is going to put the Kabuki Warriors in their spot, making it a fatal four-way. Which theoretically, if that happens, Asuka and Io is not happening at WrestleMania. Now, the other rumor is they want to save Asuka and Io for Backlash, to let the story build and let the story play out even longer and let the story marinate. I don't know what more we need to do. This story's been building since the fucking Survivor Series. Why do we need something like this to continue to marinate when it's been marinating for 6 months now, 7 months now? Get them on the fucking show, get the match made, and add an official 7th match to the show. I don't really understand this logic. Because the Bella Twins are hurt, we got to put the Kabuki Warriors in that spot. How about we just leave it a triple threat match? I don't know where in the rule book it says that we need a fucking fatal four-way. A triple threat match actually might end up making the match better. Why are we risking Io Sky making the card because the Bella twins are fucking hurt and we got to make it a fatal four-way? You do realize that Io Sky was a part of one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time last year. She was the Women's World Champion last year. And she doesn't find herself on the card this year. And instead of actually having a match for herself, she's Rhea's lackey. The creative for Io Sky has been fucking awful, which is shocking because Triple H loves Io. Where did we go wrong? What did Io Sky do? And whose cereal did she fucking piss in? I don't get it. I really don't understand it. I don't know why you can't do a match, because it makes sense to do one on Sunday. And if you want to run it again at Backlash, then do it again with some sort of stipulation behind it. Maybe Asuka wins at Mania, and then maybe Io wins at Backlash and frees Kairi Sane. Maybe Kairi's the special guest referee and they do that shit all over again and she's got to choose. Does she choose Asuka or does she go back to Io? If Io doesn't get a WrestleMania match, we're still looking at 6 matches on Sunday and 7 matches on Saturday. I would think that they want to even it out over Saturday and Sunday. Maybe this Friday, if Io and Asuka doesn't get officially added, maybe we get Tiffany versus Julia for the United States Championship. Tiffany Stratton also is not on the WrestleMania card after wrestling Charlotte Flair last year. It's crazy. Maybe they do Tiffany Stratton, Julia, and Chelsea Green. Maybe they're also waiting for Chelsea Green to recover from her foot injury. The creative is fucking weird this year, man. Really weird. This match was all right. Went about 10 minutes. Really nothing to go back and watch. Lyra's great. I think Lyra's great. When Lyra wants to work, she'll work. I've actually found a little enjoyment in what Charlotte's doing. I'll say it again. I think Charlotte versus Jade should have been the match. I swear to God, man. I think Rhea versus Io would have been the WrestleMania, should have been the WrestleMania match this year. No championship on the line. Just tell a story between those two. Jade and Charlotte. I would have had Alexa sit on the sidelines and have her play a major role in turning on Charlotte, building to Alexa and Charlotte at Backlash. I'm not booking the show, though. So none of what I said actually matters. Lyra wins here in 10 minutes. Charlotte eats the pinfall here, surprisingly. Flair threw Lyra outside, knocking Bayley over on the outside. Flair rolled up Lyra in the ring. Bayley ended up getting back up, tripped up Charlotte as she was running the ropes, and Lyra managed to fall backwards into a cover for a 1, 2, 3. Flair was pissed after the official count was made, and both teams got into a shoving match until the referee ended up separating all 4 ladies. The bathroom break match this weekend will be this women's fatal 4-way for the tag team titles. You know, SmackDown is one of the worst shows in all of pro wrestling. Right now, it's tied. It's I don't know if it's worse than it might be worse than Dynamite. SmackDown's probably number 1, and Dynamite's like right here, very close. The last couple weeks, anyway. In totality, all year, SmackDown's the worst show of the year. Easy. There's nothing on Friday night that is remotely interesting. We got a couple of guys. We got Trick Williams doing his thing. We got Carmelo Hayes lighting it up. Sami Zayn, for better or worse, has been really entertaining. Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre. They got some good Ilya Dragunov. They got some good guys over there. But when you start taking the MFT and bringing them over from Friday to Monday, that's when I have a problem. Like, the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six is up there with the women's tag team title situation in WWE and the Darby conglomeration against the Dogs situation on Dynamite. Just awful television. But here we are with the MFTs, who are awful television on Friday, and we got to see them on Monday. I don't know who asked for that. Who asked for that, chat? Yes, I would rather see Solo versus Sikoa. Yes. So we got the MFTs. They confronted LA Knight and the Usos backstage. So Jimmy looked over at his brother Solo and asked him, "What are you doing here?" I don't know. That's a good question. Nobody asked for him to be here. Solo said he's dealing with a lot on SmackDown. The Wyatt Six. Nat Tamatonga is supposed to be here, but he's not. He knows that the family has had some problems here on Monday. And he asked the Usos why they're hanging around with this clown, as Solo points to LA Knight. LA Knight then does his spiel and suggested that they have a tune-up match tonight in the form of a six-man tag team match against any three members of the MFTs. Again, nobody asked for this. But here we are. It's like Friday Night SmackDown all over again. Stephanie Vaquer. She made her ring entrance. WWE uploaded Stephanie's new theme music to their YouTube channel today, and it got shit on in the comment section. I actually went to go listen to it without the live audience kind of muddying it up. I wanted to hear what it actually sounded like coming through my speakers, just the song itself. My determination is still, the song is awful. The song is awful. Stephanie Vaquer was recently quoted saying that if she was to have her choice, the one WrestleMania song she would want to come out to would be Head Crusher by Megadeth. It's a great song. I love Stephanie even more, that she chose a song off of what I think is probably the best Megadeth album since their last album just came out. What was Endgame out? 2011? Probably the best Megadeth album in the last 15 fucking years. Stephanie Vaquer knows her metal, okay? I don't know why we can't make this happen. You know, Megadeth isn't really doing any live touring until the end of April. I don't know if Dave Mustaine is up for flying into Vegas and playing one song at WrestleMania, but if I was WWE, I would absolutely try and explore that option. Or if not, buy the rights to the fucking song and have Stephanie Vaquer come out to Head Crusher by Megadeth. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen someone come out to an actual fucking metal band. Triple H loves coming out to Metallica. Adam Copeland came out to fucking Slayer. I believe he used South of Heaven. Or Rain in Blood. One or the other. Why is it so difficult? I would love to see it. Her song is still just as bad. If you go listen to it on the YouTube channel, it's still just as bad. Awful. So she made her ring entrance. She's got an interview in the ring with Kathy Kelly. Kathy began to ask Stephanie about how things have escalated and got more personal with Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, out of nowhere, jumped Stephanie, and Stephanie ricocheted into Kathy Kelly, and she got involved when she didn't want to. So Kathy Kelly was knocked down. Producers ran in to separate Liv and Stephanie. Liv is screaming. I don't know if Liv was channeling her inner demon or if she was demonically possessed before this segment. I mean, she was screaming, "Let's go. I knew your mom was trash, but I didn't know she raised a little bitch." Liv through the mic. She starts screeching like a witch. Stephanie says something in Spanish. She said she didn't want to wait till WrestleMania. She charged the ring. They tackled each other again. Producers ended up separating them. And Liv is just fucking screeching like a banshee as they pulled both ladies apart and the segment came to an end. Speaking of Liv and music, Liv, some of you guys wanted my opinion on this Liv Morgan music video. Trouble, I think it's called. Liv Morgan wants to be in trouble. I'm assuming there are a lot of guys out there that want to get in trouble with Liv Morgan. I'm not one of them. Liv Morgan is gorgeous. She looked fantastic in this music video. I don't know what the purpose of the music video was for, but the song itself, not my cup of coffee. They served up a pot of decaf with this music video. I don't drink decaf. Serve me all the caffeine, please. I will say, though, that if WWE wants to slightly alter Liv's persona and Liv's character, I think that this new music, whatever music that she ended up singing over, this is like her new theme now, Trouble. I would absolutely make this her new entrance music. It actually fits Liv Morgan and the way we've seen Liv Morgan lately. I don't know if that's the plan or if that's the direction here with this. But listen, Liv wants to eventually break into Hollywood. Liv wants to be all over the place, whether it's doing music, acting. Professional wrestling's not going to last forever. She's hit her ceiling the last couple of years. I don't know how much more she could really do in the WWE. I expect her to win the championship on Saturday. We'll see what happens. If Liv doesn't win the championship, I think the ladies in the Judgment Day get involved and something fucks up Liv to a point where she doesn't win the title. Like Raquel will interfere or Roxanne will interfere. If you guys remember, Liv Morgan very intentionally eliminated Raquel Rodriguez from the Royal Rumble. I do wonder if WWE is going to play off that aspect when Liv is this close to winning the championship and Raquel does something to kind of purposely, but not purposely, ruin Liv Morgan's chances. But I will say this about this brawl. You know, coming into this, Liv Morgan and Stephanie beginning a story or developing a story, it felt like WWE had a very difficult time writing a story between these two women. These two women are complete polar opposites of each other. Complete polar opposites. The only thing that WWE had to go on was using Dominic in the beginning of this feud and Liv Morgan calling out how, or Stephanie rather, calling out how Liv Morgan grew up in the pro wrestling world completely different than Stephanie's road to becoming a pro wrestler. Now, that's great and all, but that's very formulaic, very basic stuff. So it looks like WWE kind of put that to bed. They made that maybe a subsection of the story. And what they've done is over the last 3 or 4 weeks, they really let these women go out there and show some real fire, some real intensity, some real tension. We got some really stiff shots, especially the one last week where Stephanie came barging in, crashed into Liv. Liv crashes into Roxanne. They both got these huge bruises and bumps on their fucking forehead that they had to go to concussion protocol. Tonight, they beat the shit out of each other. They're pulling hair, and Liv is screeching like a banshee, and Stephanie is fucking getting rough and tough in the ring, and they're throwing haymakers at each other. It looks like they legitimately want to beat the shit out of each other. I'm here for that. A little dose of realism goes a long way. If there's no story or no real interesting story that the fans are going to believe in, the one thing that fans are going to believe in is two women that want to legitimately beat the shit out of each other. There's like a legit sense of, I don't fucking like this other person here. I think that's something simple that a lot of people can get behind. So the little switch up here in Stephanie and Liv has actually made this so much more interesting than Rhea and Jade. Go figure. Something that a lot of people didn't think was going to be a bigger match because of who Rhea is and who Jade is ends up being the bigger and more exciting match because of the little tweak that they've done to tell the story. Kathy Kelly was backstage. She's all right. They did give a medical update that she was a little shaken up, but no injuries have occurred here. She's backstage with EO. She asked EO if she had anything to say about what happened on Friday on SmackDown. She lost to Jade, and she's just kind of thrusted into this Jade and Rhea situation with Michin and B-Fab. EO said at WrestleMania, no one will be rooting for Rhea more than her. Asuka and Kairi Sane walk in. Kathy Kelly walked away. Asuka continues to tell EO that Rhea Ripley is not her family. We are. She said she went into WrestleMania last year as champion, but this year she's just Rhea Ripley's sidekick. EO then ends up telling Kairi she does not have to stay loyal to Asuka. Asuka then said Kairi will prove herself against EO tonight. Kairi looked a little stunned. She tried to muster up some bravery here. She didn't want to let Asuka down. Asuka ended up calling her senpai and called her a good girl. And then she orders like a dog Kairi to come follow. Again, if WWE wants to get this match on Sunday night, I don't think anybody's really going to be opposed. I think everybody just wants EO on the fucking card. After what we've seen EO do. Her booking has been very weird. And to leave her off the card is equally as weird. Michael Cole went on to say the clip of Logan Paul shoving I Show Speed into LA Knight last week has over 428 million views, the most viewed social media highlight in the history of Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. He said it received 268 million views on TikTok, the most in WWE history. This is what WWE does. This is why they put celebrities on the show. There's nobody on the active roster that's getting 428 million views. But I Show Speed is one of the largest live streamers in the entire world. Mix that with Logan Paul, and you got WWE drooling over social media impressions like no other. The Usos and LA Knight six-man tag team match against Solo Sikoa, Tonga Loa, and Jeff Cobb. JC Mateo. Remember when the Usos came out at Madison Square Garden and they changed their theme music and everybody was like, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah, that's no more. The very next week, they went back to using Jey Uso's music. It's just me, Us. This week, they did a remix of Jey Uso's original theme. And instead of It's Me, Us, they now dubbed over the Usos saying, It's us, Us. And then they start eating. So it's basically Jey Uso's music with both Jimmy and Jay saying, It's us, Us. If they knew that was the most simplest of ways to alter the theme music, I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place, but instead opted to just change the entire theme music to something completely different that the fans were going to shit on anyway. I don't get it. And who makes these decisions? It's like WWE doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. It's got to blow up in their face for them to go back to what originally worked. This match went 7 minutes. Does anybody care about the MFTs? No. Neither do I. I don't want to talk about this. This is fucking awful on Friday. What makes you think I want to talk about this on Monday? It's all about Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga He was not there backstage when this match was initially made. Apparently, he was off worrying about the Wyatt Six. So, Jay goes for a suicide dive. Solo ends up catching him and throws him over the announce desk. All of a sudden, Tama Tonga shows up and he's standing in the timekeeper's pit. He's just standing there. Tala Tonga comes over. He's looking at Tama Tonga. Now you show up. Where were you? Solo Sikoa walks over to him. He's like, where were you? Where were you when we needed you? You were supposed to be out here. You're supposed to be out here with us. So all of this led to a distraction because everybody was looking at Tama Tonga and questioning him where he was. Tonga Loa is in the ring. He eats a BFT. 1, 2, 3. The Usos and LA Knight win. And that's it. 7 minutes. I guess they got the warm-up that they needed going into WrestleMania. 6 minutes, 7 minutes of my life wasted. Seth Rollins. He was out here to talk about Gunther. I was actually looking forward to what they would do to sell us on this match and make a little bit more sense of it than they have in the last 2 weeks. So Rollins, he jumps Gunther from behind. Gunther's in the ring. He was about to explain to us why he wants Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. So just like Stephanie and Liv, we got another brawl between two competitors on the WrestleMania card. So Liv and Stephanie did the same thing. They were supposed to cut a promo with Stephanie Vaquer. Liv ended up brawling with Stephanie, and there was no promo. There was just fight. Same thing here. Gunther was going to explain to us why he chose Seth Rollins and why he's got a problem, why it's personal with Seth Rollins, and Rollins jumps him from behind, and we get another brawl and another fight. Not really the most creative way to go about things. They did get some time to speak, though, which I'm glad that they did. So when Gunther's in the ring, Rollins jumped him from behind. Gunther is chased away halfway up the aisleway. Rollins, he tells Gunther he jumped him 2 weeks in a row, so that's his receipt. What I did to you tonight, that's your receipt. At WrestleMania, I finished the job. He told Gunther, who's walking away, come to the ring and tell me to my face why it's personal for him and why he's not just going after him to kiss Paul Heyman's ass. Gunther started speaking German. He eventually returned to the ring. He gets in Rollins' face and said, he's merely solving Heyman's problem with a smile on his face because for years, Seth Rollins has pissed him off by strutting around claiming to be the best. You're not. I am. He said when he was world champion, Seth became a useful idiot for Paul Heyman instead of seeking him out. He says he's setting it straight. It's very personal to me to expose that Seth Rollins can't lace my boots. They start swinging at each other again. Gunther got the better of Seth Rollins here and set up for his powerbomb. Rollins slipped out of it, super kicked Gunther, sent him outside. He tried for a stomp on Gunther on the steel steps, and Gunther evaded the curb stomp, which I'm assuming he'll get hit with it at Mania before we see the return of Braun Breaker. You know, Gunther mentioned that he's trying to solve Heyman's problem because nobody else is going to step up to the plate. Oba's got Brock. Nobody else is there or around, and everybody else has got their own problems. He's looking at this from afar. He's been off TV for 3 weeks. He's seeing what's going on. He's sick and tired of everything. He basically, in so many words, told you he was tired of all the hijinks and the mystery men with the ski masks and the putties. WWE did the very best that they could to give us something to where this makes sense. And they opted to go with the one thing, the simplest thing that makes sense to Gunther. Which, to Gunther, still fits in his wheelhouse of who he is to the core and what his mission is. Like, he's retired AJ Styles. He's retired John Cena. Now he's looking at Seth Rollins and all the bullshit that Rollins has been doing and how weak Rollins is and how Rollins parades around saying he's the uncrowned champion and he's this and he's great and he's this and he's that. And Gunther is basically telling him, no, you're not. You're a clown. You're a fool. You're hiding behind Heyman and you're a fool. You can't lace my boots. So you think that you're going to come back and go and do this and win the title and get back in Heyman? No, you're not doing that because you got to go through me first. This is my fucking show. I'm the top of the mountain. I'm the final boss. Rollins ended up mentioning the favor too. Gunther is going to hold Paul Heyman accountable. He's going to take out Rollins, batter him, bruise him, beat him. And Gunther is going to eventually come to collect. Whether that results in a match with Brock at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, that remains to be seen. But I think everybody is kind of leaning in that direction. I fully expect Gunther to win. Gunther should not be losing. You got to maintain, even though Gunther's cooled off, you got to maintain Gunther winning. Because when he retires Brock Lesnar, you're going to take that essence, give it to Gunther, and then whoever beats Gunther is going to take that from Gunther. The goal here is to build Gunther up and then pay it forward. Brock is going to pay it forward to Gunther. Gunther's going to pay it forward to whoever is next. Maybe it's Oba Femi. Maybe it's Braun Breaker. I don't know. But I thought WWE did the best job that they could trying to make sense of something that on the surface, when we saw it play out in front of us 3 weeks ago, did not make any sense whatsoever. Now, I understand that WWE had plans. Breaker versus Rollins, Gunther versus Rey Mysterio. Was anybody interested in a Gunther versus Rey Mysterio match? We went with that because that's what the safe option was. WWE probably looked at it and said, well, Rey probably don't want to retire. And B, is it a WrestleMania match worthy of being on the WrestleMania card? I don't think that match really interested anybody. Would it be a great match? Sure, but what does it mean at the end of the night? Nothing. So WWE said, you know what? We're going to switch things up. We're going to put Rey in the ladder match, which he probably would be better off in anyway, because his son still wants the IC title. He mixes it up with the IC title guys. Maybe he wins the IC title and we get Dominic versus Rey at some point this year. He mixes it up with Penta. He's in there with Dragon Lee. He's in there with Javon Evans. Should be a fun match. Braun Breaker, they didn't want to rush him back. Like, I understand that Breaker and Rollins was the plan. They could have easily done Rollins and Breaker. They could have done something at Mania where they run it back again at Backlash. But in their eyes, they're looking, all right, Gunther and Mysterio works, but it's way too basic. There's nothing there. There's nothing substantial there. So let's do Rollins and Gunther. We'll leave Breaker off, even though Breaker's cleared. Rey got cleared. We'll put him in the ladder match. We'll do Rollins and Gunther, and we'll just have Breaker show up at Mania, get him a Mania moment, have him cost Rollins, do the match with Breaker and Rollins at Backlash. Gunther wins, and we'll just play this up and tie this up into doing Lesnar and Gunther at SummerSlam. I mean, you can't really hate on it. You can't really hate on it. This WrestleMania season has had a lot of injuries and a lot of changes. WWE, the original Mania plans for the main events were Rollins and Reigns, Punk, and Cody. Those were the plans. Shit changed when Rollins got hurt. WWE went with the second best course of action, the second best plan, the best plan B. They went with Reigns and Punk, Cody and Randy. Now, they fucked up Cody and Randy. And they didn't really fuck up Punk and Roman. Kind of got a little weak there towards the end, but I'm still excited about the match. Injuries changed how WrestleMania was going to look. If Rollins never got hurt, we wouldn't even be talking about Breakker versus Rollins. Breakker would still be in the vision. Roman Reigns would end up winning the championship from Seth Rollins, and Breakker would turn. That's where we were. Gunther would probably get Lesnar at Mania. It's amazing to think about what the WrestleMania card might have looked like if there was no injuries. Seriously. I thought what they did was a very admirable job. This match could be the sleeper match of the weekend. Rollins and Gunther have already stated that they're going to go out there and try and steal the show. Rollins is great. Gunther's fucking excellent. No doubt about it, it's going to be a great match. And by the way, Rollins and Becky Lynch are releasing a new coffee. They got their own roastery, I guess. They got their own coffee project going on. I am absolutely buying some of their coffee beans. AMO. AMO. They were at World of Coffee in San Diego. I wish I was there, man. Big coffee convention. They're actually going to be in Vegas at WWE World. I'm not going to be there to partake in WWE World. I probably wouldn't anyway. The tickets are fucking outrageous to even attend. But they're going to be serving the coffee at WWE World. So if anybody listening to me is going to go, I would be very interested to hear how Becky and Rollins' new coffee tastes. I'm already on the waiting list for when it goes on sale. I'm going to be buying me a couple of bags. We got a vignette. A close-up of the Demon's eyes. Finn Balor's Demon. Whole set for the first time in 3 years. The Demon version of Finn Balor returns to face Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. Now, I don't know why we needed the Demon to unveil himself before Mania. WWE clearly wanted to sell interest and excitement into Mania where there was none previously. Maybe sell a couple extra tickets because the Demon's going to be on the card and on the graphic for this match with Dominic. I wouldn't have done it that way. Even though we all kind of assumed that he would be back as the Demon. Save it for when he comes out. Regardless, it's done. And I think that WrestleMania entrance with the Demon is going to be fucking spectacular on Sunday night. Io Sky versus Kairi Sane. It's went 11 minutes. Again, not really the most exciting one-on-one match here. This was made earlier in the night. Asuka and Io played tug of war with Kairi Sane. Asuka let go. Kairi collided with Io, which eventually led to Kairi taking over. Asuka got some cheap shots in on Io with the referee distracted. Io starts coming back. Missile drop kick. Bullet train in the corner. So Kairi ends up distracting the referee after being knocked off the top rope for a big move. This allowed Asuka to shove Io into the ring post. Ripley comes on down, seeing Asuka interfere. Her music plays for about 3 seconds. She runs on down, hits Asuka with a headbutt. The headbutt did not connect whatsoever. She was attacked from behind, was Rhea, by Jade Cargill. Io wipes out Cargill as revenge for taking out Rhea. Io went to the top rope. The referee was at least distracted again for a little bit here. Asuka tripped her off the top rope. Kairi applied a small package for the 1, 2, 3. Io has now lost 3 straight weeks in a row. What are we doing with Io Sky? What are we doing with Io Sky? I don't really understand why did we need Rhea out here? Like, Rhea's got her own problems with Jade. Now Rhea's kind of getting involved with Io and Asuka. Rhea comes on out. She headbutts, misses Asuka completely, only for Jade to come out and take out Rhea. Like, we didn't need none of that because none of that factored into the actual fucking finish of the match. Asuka ends up just distracting the referee. and knocks Io off the top rope. So why did we need all this nonsense with Jade and Rhea? I don't like how these two things are interconnected. None of it is particularly interesting. Leave Io with Asuka and Kairi and leave Jade with Rhea. They're only using Io and Rhea together with Jade because Jade is boring. There's nothing interesting about Jade. All of this sucks. All of this sucks. We got a video package with Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, hyping that match up for the IC title. The best segment of the night. Oba Femi signing his contract for WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. So basically the same thing that we saw with Lesnar and Heyman in the beginning of the show. Oba Femi's out here. He signs a contract. But before he does, we got Heyman out there. Triple H is poking Oba in the chest. He's like, look at the aisleway. Paul Heyman shows up. No Lesnar, though. Lesnar, he probably left the building after the first segment. So Heyman was all that was left. Heyman, he said he's never seen someone come on the scene so fast and be regarded by the fans as the biggest star in the industry as fast as Oba Femi. He says he knows to keep his distance. He said Oba is the most violent person to come into WWE since, well, Brock Lesnar. He says he's the fastest rising star to the top since Brock Lesnar. He told the fans their chants for Oba were starting to piss him off because they were loud Oba chants. He told Oba that it all comes to an end, as everything he has built will come crashing down at the hands of Suplex City and an F5. He said Oba will be conquered by Brock. He gave Oba his word that when he needs to rebuild his career after WrestleMania, his door will always be open to Oba Femi. Oba grabs the microphone. He told Heyman it's taking everything in him to not beat his ass from pillar to post. Right here, right now. Fans chant, beat his ass, beat his ass. Oba says he could do that, but the scars would heal, whereas if he beats the beast, those emotional wounds will last forever. He told him as far as his job opportunity, the door to the only job he wants is the door to WrestleMania. He said 2 months ago, him and the Beast issued an open challenge to whoever would step up without caring who could. He says there's been 25 years of history there, and you've been there every step of the way. 25 years of history that Lesnar cannot be beat, but he has 4 weeks of history that says he can. Oba said Heyman feels it. He feels it. The fans feel it. He said Heyman has been Lesnar's mouthpiece, but he's never been an honest one. He said an honest Heyman would have introduced him and said his client is afraid of Oba Femi because he is the bringer of war, the mountain that he cannot climb or conquer. He says he will slay the beast and the beast will meet his end. I am the one and I have always been the one. He says he knows he is the one. Heyman knows it and the fans do too. Michael Cole went on to say he does not recall anyone going into a match with Brock Lesnar with as much confidence and a lack of fear against Brock Lesnar as Oba Femi. This was one hell of a fucking promo. Oba Femi is that guy. If you have Oba Femi cut this promo, there is absolutely no fucking way he should be losing on Sunday night. This match is opening Sunday night on ESPN proper at 6 p.m. This will be all over ESPN. You don't have this man cut this promo and then have him lose on Sunday night. I understand there is a little bit of fear in the people watching the product that Lesnar's going to get the win and WWE's going to go with their tried and true and fuck things up because it's WWE and they always fuck things up. All they need to do is take the page right out of the 2002 SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar was put in a position after 6 or 7 months to battle The Rock at SummerSlam 2002. And what did they do? They had the young Brock Lesnar go over The Rock. It's no different now. It worked then. It's going to work now. Lesnar does not need this. This means everything to Oba Femi. And if Lesnar loses, we're all going to say we still think the same about Brock Lesnar. His aura will not be diminished. His beast will not be diminished. He'll still be the most legitimate fucking guy walking the planet. The most feud guy walking the planet. This means everything to Oba and nothing to Brock. You give this to Oba. Brock is going away after WrestleMania and won't be seen until the 4 weeks leading up to SummerSlam. Oba's going to be on TV, and he's going to be at TV every single fucking week. Gee, I wonder who should win this match. The hard part is over. The build. The build itself. The weeks of television you had over the last 5 weeks with Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, the toughest part is over. The easiest part was getting people to buy in, which was the easiest part of all. The next easiest thing is who wins. Who wins? Oba Femi wins. It should not be that difficult. This is not going to be something that you're going to wrap your brain around on the fucking flight from Sacramento to Las Vegas. You don't need a fucking 3-hour flight from Sacramento to Las Vegas for fucking who's going to win Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. Give me a fucking break. This was a great promo. Siobhan Evans and Dragon Lee, tag team match against Rusev and J.D. McDonough. Rusev was probably happier than a pig in shit after the way he was booked tonight. Holy shit. This was a fun tag team match. 8 minutes is criminal for all these guys. If you gave them double the amount of time, this could be a fucking hell of a match. But this was basically the waitress coming over with the hors d'oeuvres. Would you like an hors d'oeuvre? This is what it was. It's a little bit of an appetizer before WrestleMania. What is Siobhan Evans going to do? What is J.D. McDonough going to do? What type of stunts is Dragon Lee going to do? What type of brutality is Rusev going to give us? I tell you who's not going to win the ladder match on Sunday night. It's going to be fucking Rusev not winning the ladder match. He looked way too dominant in this tag team match. They gave him his shit tonight because he's not going to get anything at Mania. Dragon Lee and Siobhan Evans win in about 8 minutes. Dragon Lee hits a snap German suplex. McDonough responded with a very ugly-looking Spanish fly. Crowd was big time into this. Evans broke up the cover, wiped out Rusev with a big dive. Dragon Lee followed with a Styles Clash on McDonough for the 1, 2, 3. That's basically it. After the match, Rusev attacked Dragon Lee and Evans. Ray ran out to attack Rusev. He went for a 619. Rusev cut him off with a clothesline. Penta runs out next. Rusev cut him off with a big Machka kick. Rusev laid everybody out, and he put Dragon Lee in the accolade and wrenched back on the accolade. Rusev stood tall. It's crazy. Rusev's been off TV for the majority of the year, treated like a jobber. He looked like $1 million here tonight. Pro Wrestling 101 states Rusev is not winning the Intercontinental title. Danhausen was backstage. He interrupted a phone call with Adam Pearce and what was to be believed John Cena on the other end of the phone. Danhausen assumed that Adam Pearce was on the phone with John Cena. He wanted to talk to John Cena. Adam Pearce said, no, You can see him at WrestleMania, and I'm sure he will greet you at WrestleMania. Danhausen tried to say the "you can't see me" thing while Adam Pearce was on the phone, as Adam Pearce kind of shooed him away. When Adam Pearce hung up with John Cena, he turned around and Danhausen was gone. Main event segment. Roman Reigns and CM Punk. The one big final sell for their WrestleMania match, Night 2, Main Event, World Heavyweight Championship. So Roman Reigns comes on out. Fans chanted big time OTC. They chant big time CM Punk. Fans started singing the European-style soccer chants of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. CM Punk comes on out. He doesn't come down the aisleway. He comes to the arena from the mezzanine. He walks through his people. Punk made his way. He's smiling. He's shaking people's hands. Reigns had a beeline, staring a hole right through him. Punk stood on the announce desk. Fans continued to chant CM Punk. Punk finally says he's watched the cold open that looked like a political smear campaign put together by Roman Reigns. Now, the show started off with a Roman, and the reason why I didn't go over this, because I was saving it for the end. The show started off with Roman Reigns talking about CM Punk. Very well shot, very ominous, darkened room, nothing more than Roman Reigns and a camera. He says he told him to cherish the relevancy that he had while he could, but he didn't. And he ended up lying. He says he did what he thought he would, trying to revise the tribal chief's history. He said the fans lived through it all, and CM Punk exposed himself as a hypocrite. So we saw clips airing of Punk's promo directed at Roman Reigns. Then they played Pat McAfee's promo on SmackDown where he called CM Punk a fraud, saying he's got 280 things for sale on WWE Shop. But when the TKO merch check comes in, is it going to be going to all the families who can't afford these expensive tickets for WrestleMania? Or is it going to the Saudi Arabia fund? I'm sorry, Saudi Arabia. Reigns ended up saying he likes Pat McAfee, but never in the world has a punter run his mouth to Roman Reigns. He said nobody believes in him. It's not 2012 anymore. He said the fans trust him and believe in him. He says he'd give him one more chance in the last segment to tell the truth, or I will. And then the promo ends in a weird way. It was so serious. And then Roman Reigns ends the message with some, almost sounded like a comedic line, a comedic way to end the segment. This message has been approved by the tribal chief. This message has been approved by the tribal chief. Okay. So CM Punk, he said to Roman that he watched the cold open that looked like a political smear campaign put together by Roman Reigns. Says he came out here to tell the truth. So the fans will be his witnesses, and Reigns will be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Tell me when I'm telling lies. That was his entire spiel. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Reigns told Punk, as Punk is walking up the steps into the ring, Reigns told Punk, if you enter the ring, we aren't going to need these microphones, meaning that there will be another brawl. You don't need another pull-apart brawl. Punk says he's thought a lot about what was said over the last couple of weeks. I hate you. I hate you because I envy you. Reigns is listening intently. This is all I ever wanted. This is the only dream I had in my heart since I was a little kid. He said the envy, the fact that it was handed to Roman Reigns, the envy comes from that it was all handed to Roman. He says he hates that he was champion for 1,316 days. Because after some self-reflection, I know how hard you worked your ass off to be that great. He says he hates how many days he held that title and how many times he's main evented WrestleMania. Tell me, Roman, when I'm telling any lies. Have I lied? He says he hates envy and he hates that he feels this way. He brought up Sika. He said Sika was a great man, a great wrestler, a great champion, and a Hall of Famer. I love and respect the old timers. He says he hates that he invoked his father's name in vain, and I sincerely apologize to you. I don't know why this apology didn't come 4 weeks ago when he mentioned Roman Reigns' dead father. He enters the ring. Roman Reigns allows him to step into the ring. I hate that there's more than one royal family in professional wrestling, and I hate the fact that I envy that I wasn't born into a dynasty. I don't know what having that kind of family is like. He says he was a misfit who had to find his own family and found them in the streets of Sacramento and every VFW or dilapidated Midwest barn, bowling alleys, abandoned churches. He says he found his family there, then traveled the world twice over. I wasn't born on third base with a silver spoon. He says he made pro wrestling his home and his family. He says he hates that he feels this way and that he has to share anything with him, let alone his first singles match headlining WrestleMania. Tell me, Roman, when I am telling lies. He says he has gold on his shoes and gold around his waist. And late Sunday night, after the desert sun sets, he will have gold above his head, and the ring announcer will declare he is and still World Heavyweight Champion, with the fans chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. Tell me when I'm telling any lies. Reigns said that's probably the truest stuff he's ever heard CM Punk say, up until the end. Let me tell you something true. I hate you too. He says he's hated him for a long time, but the main reason is because of his relationship with the fans. Roman says he hopes one day when he leaves, the fans will miss him like they missed CM Punk. He hopes that when they cheer for him for 10 years, he says he hopes they cheer for him for 10 years like they did for CM Punk. No one could ever take that away from you. He said on Sunday, the reality is the time is up. I gave you 2 months of relevancy and you did nothing with it. And then he says, at the end of Sunday night, it will be not and still. It will be and new. On Sunday, they begin to fix the mess he started, and we make this place where we had it at the very top, worth every single dollar. On Sunday, the tribal chief takes over again, and you, along with the whole world, will acknowledge me. It's not a deal breaker for me. I don't know why we didn't get this apology when Punk said it, and then the following week he should have apologized. Instead, he just played games and doubled down on it and poked fun at the family and poked fun at Roman and poked fun at the Usos, and then that leads us to this tension between everybody, and it ends up getting physical between Punk and Roman. Then we get the go-home show where they're laying everything out on the table. They're being upfront and honest about why they don't like each other, but at the same time, in this weird way, respecting each other with some of the things that they said. CM Punk knows that Roman Reigns worked as hard as he did to get 1,316 days. He knows he's worked his ass off to main event WrestleMania. Roman Reigns knows that CM Punk has this special connection to the audience, unlike anybody in WWE history. That for 10 years they chanted his name until the day he showed back up in the company. And Roman says, when I am gone, I hope that I have the same thing happen to me. It's very weird how we got everything that we got. And then basically respecting each other at the very end. Again, it doesn't take away from what we've seen. It doesn't take away from the excitement I still feel towards the match. The one thing that I really want to pick apart here as the most important thing, the tribal chief takes over again. We begin to fix the mess that he started and make this place where we had it at the very top, worth every single dollar. I don't know if Roman Reigns winning the World Heavyweight Championship is best for business. I don't think anything changes if Roman Reigns is all of a sudden anointed the World Heavyweight Champion. Is Roman Reigns going to make more television? Is he going to be back on television? Is he going to double the amount of dates that he has currently from 25 to 50, 55, 60 dates? Is he going to be on TV selling storylines when we need him and not take 4 or 5 weeks off? If he's not going to do that, I don't think Roman Reigns winning the World Heavyweight Championship is the right move. I also don't think going back to the bloodline running the show is a good move either. CM Punk is there every single week. CM Punk is a champion, a fighting champion. He's on the road every single time they're on tour, busting his ass. He's been there day in and day out. He's made every show outside 1 or 2 here. He's been one of the more fighting champions in the last couple of years as a world champion. Do we really want to take the belt off CM Punk? But then you really start thinking about it. CM Punk has wrestled everybody. CM Punk's wrestled everybody on the show. He's wrestled Rollins. He's wrestled Braun Breaker. He's wrestled Gunther. He's wrestled Jey Uso. He's wrestled LA Knight. What else is there for CM Punk to do as the World Heavyweight Champion? Do we really want to go back and do a Punk versus Rollins feud all over again because Rollins is now back healthy and he wants the World Championship that he never lost? Or does Roman win the championship with help from Jay or Jimmy or somebody else that we might not be thinking of? Does the bloodline reform? Do we go back to the bloodline running the company? Does Roman win the World Heavyweight Championship? Do we get Rollins and Reigns as the major program going into SummerSlam? Because that's what the original main event for WrestleMania was going to be on night 1. Roman as champion creates a fresh slew of opponents for him. CM Punk has done everything as the world champion. In WWE's eyes, it may be looking like they may be done with Punk and they've exhausted everything that Punk could do without actually moving him over to SmackDown. It's a very tough one to call. But if Roman is not going to be working double the amount of dates that he has now, I don't think Roman Reigns winning the World Heavyweight Championship is going to be the best move. I think CM Punk should retain the World Heavyweight Championship. And even then, I still find it skeptical to take the title off of CM Punk. Not the best go-home show, not the worst go-home show. It was just a show. A lot of dialogue, a lot of pull-apart brawls, a lot of WWE kind of frosting their cake for WrestleMania before it goes on the shelf for display. WrestleMania season has been very much up and down. Wasn't the most exciting road to WrestleMania. And I honestly think the Pat McAfee stuff has really jolted people's nerves to a point where you got fans teetering on the brink. Do I watch this shit or do I give up on it completely? It's that bad. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Thank you for joining me here tonight. We had upwards towards 3,000 or just a little bit over 3,000 people live here tonight. We got 900 likes. Make sure you guys get those thumbs up in. Let's try for 1,000. Still got 3,000 in here. Another 100. Easy as cake. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Would really appreciate the support there. Leave a comment down below. Super chats are open. Tonight we are sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Make sure you guys use code JD at checkout. You guys can get 2 months of Blue Chew Gold by using code JD and a third month for free. It's a great deal. WrestleMania season is coming to an end. We're ready to show up in Vegas and get the job done. It's exactly how it should be in the bedroom as well. We've all had those moments. Maybe you're not ready physically, but mentally, you're overthinking everything. I can certainly tell you Triple H overthought everything this WrestleMania season. We got plans changing. We got a lot of indifference. We got a lot of hesitating, a lot of changing of this and a changing of that. Timing, distractions, the pressure. You're not fully locked in. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew Gold is built different. It's not just about blood flow. It's designed to help with arousal as well. So your mind and your body are actually on the same page. Because let's be real. Getting ready and being ready are two completely different things. Blue Chew Gold combines ingredients for performance and mental connection. So you're not out there second guessing like it's your first match back in 6 months. You're confident, you're focused, you are in control. It's time for less thinking and more doing. So if you're ready to step up your game, maybe it's time to call in Blue Chew, tag in Blue Chew to get that main event energy when it counts. Don't let your mind get in the way of a good time. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Special deal for everybody listening to the show tonight and every night. Use code JD at checkout. When you buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold, you get the third month for free. It's code JD at checkout. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And I want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast right here on OTS. Also, chat. If you guys are joining the chat tonight late and weren't here in the beginning, we got some new merch. Unapologetically authentic. The new off-the-script design by my guy Salrex. We got new merch. This shirt. We got new storefront. Fourth wall. I linked the website and the online shop down below in the live stream chat. I'm going to have it pinned in the comments section after the video goes live and in the description as well. Go and get your new merch. I would really appreciate it. Every dollar that is made via a t-shirt sale is automatically put back into the show because I have big plans on upping the production of the show this year, and I can't do that without you guys. We're already the best. How can we get better? That's the goal. Support by buying a t-shirt. We also got TNT merch. We also got a new TNT design coming very, very, very soon. We got coasters. We got coffee mugs. We got hoodies. We got ladies' tees for all the ladies out there because I know there's a small section of ladies who listen to the show. Support. Now available on Fourth Wall. Link is down below. Pinned in the live stream chat and in the comment section. Let's get to these super chats. I'm going to start off with Michael Krause. Yes, indeed. Are you ready, JD? OTS WrestleMania week. Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Also, JD loves MFT. Yeah. Guys, I am working on a, and oh my goodness t-shirt as well. Or maybe a boring t-shirt. Who knows? If the design is right, we'll get it done. Thank you, Michael. Bossmo Jackson with a $9.99. I agree with my friends Charlotte, Becky, Alexa. All look super trim these days. They look off. They look better with more weight on them. The wrestling is off too. The horsewomen aren't as good as they used to be. I legitimately don't care about that. I don't know why anybody would. If they think they look good, then God bless them. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Prediction: Orton wins at WrestleMania. At Backlash, Cody and Jelly Roll win to get their heat back. Then Orton finally RKO's McAfee and sends him packing to ESPN. Also, Seth and Gunther would be, or should be, great. Even better, Braun versus Seth. Michael Krause with the $2 Super Chat. Commercial after commercial. VPN, no commercial. Yeah. Cosmo Jackson with the $1.99. Oba out promos Heyman, but will Brock prevail? I hope not. Michelle with a 2. Kind of a letdown with Punk and Roman. Seemed forced. I thought it was better than some of the recent interactions between the two. Yo, boy, Pete with a 50 times 2 for a $100 super chat. Holy crap, imagine spending those ticket prices for Raw just for the first 15 minutes of the show being you staring at the screen. I hope they gave them a good dark match at least, but I highly doubt it considering it's the Raw before Mania. Bro, I don't think we had one match go over 10 minutes tonight. Also, he says, wow, to follow up my last super chat, not only did they start with 15 minutes of video packages, they followed up with more video and later on the MFTs. JD, hope you know how much we appreciate you covering this boring bullshit across both companies. Shout out to Pete. Pete's been awesome. Pete's support has been great. We love having Pete in the venue. Thank you, my brother. Walker Stubbs with a $4.99. Didn't really watch Raw because of lots of tornado watches and warnings around me. Did I miss anything? No. Just Oba cutting a very, very good promo. Outside that, nothing. Nothing. Slade 209. 54 months. I was there live tonight in Sacktown. Surprisingly, had a decent time. Oba was the most over dude in the building. Certainly sounded like it on TV, my brother. Oba's great. Royalty with a 31 months. Just what I always wanted. A music video to go with Def Rebel's terrible music. Appreciate you, JD. Yeah, Liv's music video was better than the actual song. I don't think any of us have a problem watching Liv move. Paula with a $5 super chat. Today is 2 months here. You are the best, JD. Thank you, Paula. Appreciate you being here. Ugly in the morning with a $6.99. No message. Thank you for the $6.99, Ugly. Scripts. Thank you for the recommitment, Scripts. Shnamtra with a super chat. I laughed when JD asked Ross if he can curse on Twitch. And surprisingly, Jesse had an A game. More collab, please. OTS for life. Ugly in the morning with a $6.99. How many fucking times do I need to hear Michael Cole say ESPN proper? You're going to hear it at least 24 more times, Ugly. You got Friday, and then you got 3 hours of a pre-show on WrestleMania Saturday and 3 hours of pre-show on WrestleMania Sunday. 6 hours of a pre-show. DJ with a $4.99 TNT mug on the merch side is fire. I will be picking one up. Hot beverage before work. Mania prediction. Jelly Roll kicks Cody in the balls. Fades to black. Bro, if we get another celebrity ending Mania, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Jeff with a 14 months. AJD just purchased one of your unapologetic hoodies. Love the design, brother. Have a safe flight. And we can only hope this WrestleMania 42 is better than last. Thank you for the support, Jeff. I appreciate you, my man. It's got to be better than last year. It's got to be. The card itself looks better. At least they got that working for them. El Masse with 33 months. Undertaker got me more excited for the Americanos mask versus mask match than Cody versus Randy. Listen, man, people loving what Undertaker's doing on AAA. Ryleek with a $4.99. Even after moving Raw a couple of years ago, LA Knight still can't escape the MFTs in the year 2026. LA Knight, he's destined for just MFT Vision Vortex for the rest of his career. Joshua with a $4.99. I don't see Roman losing 3 main events in a row. That's a good point. It's a good point. Roman wants to be home with his kids and his wife. If he knows what's better for him, he loses to Punk. Unless he's willing to make the commitment to be at TV more. Michael Krause with it too. I feel Rock will be in one of the main events. I could see it. If WWE's got their ace in the hole in The Rock, that's a big get. But what does that mean? And how often is he going to be on television? Cody Snyder with the $5 super chat. I don't know if you addressed this yet, but are you going to do any sort of meet and greets in Las Vegas? I'm out here now. Time officially off starts tomorrow. No, I am going to enjoy myself in the best way that I can. And I got work on Thursday, and I'm flying home on Friday. If I was there longer, maybe, but no. Don Stoney with a $5 super chat. Shout out to Don Tony, John Draper, and Spitball Media and Wrestling Soup. Absolutely love all those guys and their community. They have supported me through thick and thin, and they are family here in the OTS community as well. So we love all those guys. Triple M, 32 months, been heavily debating if I even want to watch Mania. I'll watch Brock Oba for sure, but anything else, I don't know yet. Have a good week. It's going to be busy. Brother, it is going to be super busy. And I'm trying to find ways in between, man, to rest my fucking voice. It's my most powerful weapon. I need it. I need it working 100%. And Jeff Mills with a $9.99. Do you possibly see Roman getting screwed by The Rock to set up next year's Mania since Roman is part-time? Don't butcher me too bad. Jeff, that's a very good question. It's something that I've thought about myself. If WWE wanted to get the jump on Mania next year and The Rock wanted to get the jump on next year, they would absolutely do that. In fact, I think it would be beneficial for them to do that. And Jinx with a $20 super chat. Much love, JD. Been watching for a while. Thank you for making some very tough, dark days and nights a lot easier. You do more for us than you know. Also, thanks for making some of the WWE slop they give us a lot more bearable. I'm very sorry to hear that you're going through some tough times, Jinx. I will always be here, and I'm glad that you find some escape in what we do here. Be well. And thank you guys very much for all of your support. Another great stream. You guys continue to kill it. WrestleMania week is off and running. There is no place better to spend your WrestleMania week to get you guys covered on everything than right here on Off the Script. And we're going to do it more again tomorrow morning with the coach. Behind the Turnbuckle YouTube channel. I'll be live with Jonathan Coachman. And then Tuesday Night Titans with the Solomonster. WrestleMania predictions and discussion and a Dynasty review. Lots to talk about. And then Wednesday I fly out. Wednesday morning I'll be flying out to Las Vegas. And I can't wait to experience, at least for the night, the Vegas nightlife. Until then, guys, I'll see you back tomorrow morning and tomorrow night for a busy Tuesday right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.